Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I want to point out some obvious things going on here. As you can see, my room is a little bit more decorated. I bought this new bookcase as my new bedside table. I love it. I got this little heart lamp right here. This is my new Harry Styles poster from my Fine Line vinyl album. And I'm in a new chair. You can't see the chair. But I got rid of my purple beanbag chair and I replaced it with this little office chair. And it spins and it has wheels. I think it's super, super cute. Today I wanted the lighting to be a little bit more like vibey because we are doing a review of a horror movie. I know, should this be a review for Scream 6? Yes. Unfortunately, by the time I'm filming this, I have not seen Scream 6 yet. I am seeing it this weekend with my boyfriend. Today, I am filming this on March 7th, 3 days before Scream 6 comes out. But the video I'm doing today is a review of the movie Cocaine Bear. I'm gonna see... That's as high up as this chair can go. Okay, so I'm doing a review of the movie Cocaine Bear, which I saw opening weekend. I saw it the day after it came out, so I saw it on February 24th? Maybe 25th? I don't know. I saw it opening weekend, and these are my full thoughts. I love this chair, by the way. I'm gonna be spinning around. I feel like I might move the tripod down a little bit so you can get more of my body in the shot and you're not just seeing my room, so I'm gonna do that. But this review of the movie Cocaine Bear, these are my opinions, spoilers beforehand if you haven't seen the movie. I thought it was really funny and it's just my opinion, my thoughts, and whatever I think you guys should see it, but spoiler alert before the video starts. So I'm gonna switch this tripod around and let's get started on our review. Okay, I actually like this angle more. Okay. So, Cocaine Bear. So, the premise of Cocaine Bear is based on a sort of true story. So in the 1980s, there was a drug smuggler that was smuggling drugs into the United States, mostly, well, all cocaine. He was smuggling cocaine, and he dropped it in a forest outside of somewhere in Georgia. It's a forest in Georgia. I think it was Chattahoochee Forest, something like that. He dropped a bunch of cocaine and this drug dealer was trying to retrieve it. Well, unfortunately, this bear ended up eating most of the cocaine. I believe the bear was only 100-something pounds and it ended up ingesting like 70-something kilograms of cocaine or something like that. It was like a lot. It was a lot of cocaine. So I think he was like basically 2/3 of his body was cocaine. And the bear, eventually it died. Unfortunately, it died from the ingestion because obviously it would. I think from the time the cocaine was dropped, there was like 6 hours of time in between the cocaine being eaten by the bear and the cocaine being found. So I believe it takes place over 6 hours in real life. In the movie, it's like a whole day, you know, but in real life, I think it was close to 6 hours in comparison. It was actually very quick. So in real life, the bear died, and from what they say, I think they believe it was a young bear. It was probably more than likely closer to a cub. It was not fully grown. But they changed some things in this movie version. So the movie version is basically the exact same story, except they have liberties to do whatever they want with it. So in this version, the bear is 500 pounds. It is full grown. Ingested cocaine and goes on a killing rampage. In real life, there was no killing rampage. No one died because of the events. But yes, the bear in the movie goes on a killing rampage and gets a taste for cocaine and becomes completely addicted in the span of immediately eating it, becomes completely addicted to it. The kills as the movie go on progress into more gory because it's showing the progress of the bear getting more high, getting more vicious, you know, all that stuff. So that's the premise of the film. The first thing I'm gonna say, is it the best film of 2023? No. Do I think it's worth watching? Yes. And I'm gonna tell you why it's worth watching, because it's the dumbest thing in the world. Okay. I saw someone tweet about this. I'm gonna turn this ring light down. because it's hurting my eyes. There we go. Now it's basically turned off. Oops. I changed color. Ooh, I kind of like the yellow more. The yellow makes me look less sickly. Anyway, the yellow is actually better for my eyes, to be completely honest. So let's use the yellow. Anyway, so the bear, the movie itself is the best movie of 2023? No. Is it the best horror movie of 2023? No. Have there been more horror movies coming out in 2023 than any other year? Apparently, because we've already got Megan, now we got Cocaine Bear, and now we're getting Scream 6. So I don't know why we're getting so many horror movies, but I know a lot of people are excited. Okay, I love campy. Okay, and I feel like the word camp is becoming used wrongly, right? I feel like the word camp is being used incorrectly. Camp doesn't mean it's shit. Camp means it's so bad it's good. Okay? Look at Rory Horror Picture Show. It's not a good movie in any way. The plot is stupid. The characters are what they are. The songs are pretty great. Well, you've only got like 3 actually good songs, which is Time Warp, Sweet Transvestite, and Touch, Touch, Touch Me. All the other songs, they are what they are. But it's camp because it's so bad, it's good, Or camp means most people aren't gonna like it, but some people are. As soon as it starts to become loved by people, then it becomes less camp. Okay, it's meant to be culty. It's a cult classic, like Rocky Horror Picture Show, but now everyone's talking about Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I'm like, no, that's the opposite of what was supposed to happen. The same with Cocaine Bear. Is Cocaine Bear campy? No, it's stupid. There's a difference between camp and stupid. I feel like it's happening a lot. This term camp is being thrown around without people using it correctly, especially camp was created by the gay community. Obviously, it is a queer representation, a queer term, and you hear these white girls that are trying to, take queer terminology and make it into their own, even though queer terminology originally was from the African American community. So we got a lot of problems. But you got these white girls, these white straight girls that are obsessed with gay people, and they love RuPaul's Drag Race, and now they're calling everything camp. And I'm like, that's not camp. That's not camp. Okay, the theme of the Met Gala a few years ago was camp. Camp means kitschy, gaudy. It wouldn't work anywhere else. Katy Perry in a chandelier, that's camp. Because you would never see that in any other space. Cocaine Bear, originally camp, and now, because more movies are being made like Cocaine Bear, it's starting to become less camp, okay? You see this a lot, especially with horror movies. Horror movies are initially camp because horror movies are not meant to be beloved. Horror movies are not meant to be mainstream. Sorry, I'm noticing how much of my fat on my double chin I have. Oh, I need to lose weight. Anyway, how far can it go? It's not the worst. Could be worse. Anyway, with a movie like Cocaine Bear and with the recent horror movies, horror is meant to be camp, and that's what we're getting now, is campy horror movies. Like Megan. Megan is camp because it's about an android. It's so stupid, okay? The premise is not realistic. There we go. Okay, campy movies the premise is not realistic. In Rocky Horror Picture Show, it's an alien. Okay, horror movies are unrealistic. Okay, the things that happen in horror movies don't happen in real life. They survive getting stabbed 6 times in the chest. Jason survives getting shot like 17 times by FBI agents. Like, that wouldn't happen in real life, which is what makes it camp. It's unrealistic. It doesn't make any sense. That's why it's camp, okay? You can't comprehend it with your brain. So, with Cocaine Bear, a bear going crazy eating cocaine is camp because it's stupid. But it's going to become less camp the more horror movies are made to be like it. There's not going to be a sequel to Cocaine Bear, no matter what anyone says. They can make spin-offs, but it's based on a true story, and the problem is with this movie, they changed a lot of the details. In this one, the bear is 500 pounds. goes on a killing rampage. Is also female and has cubs. Okay? They completely changed everything. There were no people involved. No one died in the event of Cocaine Bear in real life. So the movie is initially taking an event and making it, how do I say this? You have a film. Is the film good? No. Is it the worst film you've ever seen? No, I've definitely seen worse films. There are worse films than this one out there. But it's cocaine. It's never gonna win an Oscar. It's never gonna win any awards. I mean, that's what makes it funny. Okay, they changed so many details, and with doing that, people think there's gonna be a sequel, and they forget this was a real life story. The bear was real. It just didn't do that shit. All right, and that's what happens when you make movies based on true stories. Like the people get stupid. People don't realize like the events are real, but they changed them for the movie. Okay, they changed a lot of the details for Cocaine Bear to make it an entertaining film. Is it entertaining? Yes. It's a bear on cocaine. It's fucking hilarious. All right. Bear on cocaine, hilarious premise. Stupid, campy, hilarious. But people are gonna think there's sequels. People are gonna think, oh, so what happened to the real life bear? It is so dead and taxidermied in a mall in Pennsylvania somewhere. Like nothing happened. Everything about this movie is fictional except for the fact there was a real drug case and a real bear did cocaine. But it did not do what it did in the movie. All right, so that's what we have. The characters in the movie didn't exist in real life, but I liked some of them and hated others. Some of them are really stupid. Okay, there's these two kids in the movie. So one thing about the movie is there's a lot of plot points between these characters that you don't really care about as much. So the little girl, she has a single mom. And the single mom is dating this guy, and he invited them to go to Nashville, Tennessee for like a festival. And she was like, well, this weekend we're supposed to go up to the waterfalls. And she's like, we can do that any other weekend. We live right next to them. So this kid cuts school to go with this other kid to the waterfalls, right? They find cocaine. And the kids decide to do the cocaine. Because they had a person come in and say, because in 1985, this was the time of Just Say No by Nancy Reagan, you know, just say no to dope. Just say nope to dope. Just say no to drugs. This was the time, you know, when DARE was happening and all of this stuff. So a lot of schools were having some guy come in that goes, I used to do crack, but now I went to rehab. And I don't do crack anymore, except for Saturdays and Sundays. That's Nozio's time. That's a John Mulaney joke that I butchered, but I think it's hilarious. But it's true, okay? Dude, at that time, you would have, you know, people come in and they're like, I used to be a drug addict and I became sober. And I'm like, can you say the actual truth, which is I had the most fun of my life? But you didn't. Okay, drugs aren't cool, kids. You shouldn't do drugs. And the thing with this bear doing cocaine, I don't think people realize what happens when you do cocaine when you're a human. When you're a human, I've never done cocaine, but I know people that have. And when you do it, you're high for like 30 minutes and then it goes away, basically. And you start the whole tweaking process, right? So then you're like, I gotta get high again because you don't want to feel the adverse effects. So that's what this bear is doing. It's like it wants to keep getting high, so it keeps searching for the cocaine, and it's got this unlimited supply in the forest in all these duffel bags filled with cocaine. So then this drug dealer, he's the one that's supposed to have the cocaine, and he hires this guy and his son, like, geez. Okay, kids go to falls. They find a bag of cocaine. They decide to eat the cocaine in the following way. Kid pulls out pocket knife, cuts open bag, takes a scoop, puts it in mouth, spits it out immediately. But girl, you get high from barely one touch of cocaine. All right, this hit. Well, you do it here, but they're obviously high now. And the bear shows up. They get chased into the woods. Blah blah blah. I'm not gonna say every storyline, but that's the first one. And then the people retrieving the cocaine and all this stuff. And there's a detective who's trying to get the cocaine. There's so many storylines with these characters that it's kind of hard to follow what all these characters are and what they mean and why they're there. And some storylines are more important than others. Now, let's talk about the kills. I don't remember how many characters killed, but I could probably round it up. The first kill happens basically off screen. Alright? The first kill basically happens off screen. This couple, they're in the forest, they're there, and they're talking about getting married, they're engaged or something, and they see the bear. And the guy is like, that bear is acting strange. And they start filming the bear. And then the bear comes up to them. And they run away. And the bear catches the girl. And I think it's because she's wearing a certain color bag. Is that why the bear jumps her? And basically pulls her into a bush. And all we see is her leg ripped off. We only see a leg fly out of the bush. So that's the first death. Not super gruesome. We see a severed leg. Pretty basic, not that gruesome. They probably could have done that in a PG-13 movie, just not much blood. The second death happens a little while after it. There's a lot of time between deaths usually. There's plenty of time between where I'm done like death, and now we're done. It's like a death sometime, a death sometime, a death sometime. Sometimes multiple people die at once, you know. But the bear doesn't kill everyone. So, the next kill happens later. So, there's a ranger in the forest, and she's a crush on the wildlife rescue guy. They go into the forest, they find a little boy, he's climbed up a tree. The bear finds them, and the bear kills the wildlife rescue guy. He, slashes the ranger woman, but she's able to walk back to, the visitor's office and, call an ambulance and call, people, hey, I've been injured, I need help, blah, blah, blah. So, the bear kills this guy. What we see of this stuff is he's hanging upside down in a tree, and it is implied that the bear is eating off its leg. So all we see is blood. It's just blood dripping down, right? And it's obviously fake blood. I think this is the one time where they didn't use as much CGI blood. A lot of the kills are CGI'd, obviously, because you can't get a real bear to do that. But for some reason, they did a lot of CGI blood. I'm like, why didn't they just do practical effects? So I'm pretty sure that was, fake blood. It wasn't CGI blood. It was, real fake blood. And it's, going down his body. And then he ends up falling out of the tree because he passes out and he's dead now. And he, crushes himself. The bear jumps down. Whatever. The second kill happens at the visitor center. So the drug dealers, they find this guy. And so he gets beat up by these 3 teenagers. And one of the teenagers found a bag of cocaine and he's telling them, I can tell you where I stashed it. They're like, okay. The 2 boys in the group are left behind in the visitor center. The ranger shows back up, she calls an ambulance, and they think she's talking about the guy that beat him up when she's talking about the bear. So there's a miscommunication there. The bear shows up and basically knocks on the door. It's getting stupid. To the visitor center, it's sitting outside, and she's like, I'm gonna open the door and I'm gonna shoot him. And this kid is like, the fuck? Why would you shoot him? But he's about to go. He opens the door. He's standing in front of the bear. The bear's just sitting there like, hi, how you doing? And she shoots him, the person, directly in his, so brains gushed out. Head shut, brains, blood. Ugh. The bear runs off. So his friend is like, oh shit, closes his door to the visitor center. The bear is on the roof. The bear then comes down the chimney And we don't see what happens to these two people. We don't see their kills on screen. Because we just saw the shooting, we don't see their kills on screen. We like see parts of it, but not really. Then we skip ahead. And then I think they're the next kill technically. Because we don't get any killings for a really long time at that point, from what I believe. Yeah, we don't get a lot. So then the ambulance shows up at the visitor center. They're trying to open the door, dead body in front of it. They see a dead body. The ranger is still alive. She's, scratched up. She can barely breathe. And the bear is in a supply closet. And he's ripped off this guy's head. So all you see is a head and like body parts. And like there's a head, a severed head. A beautiful severed head. And, it's a weird looking shit. But the bear is the scariest part because it comes out and it's just looking. It's like, okay, that bear's high as fuck, man. Like, demented bear. Just like, do you have cocaine? The bear is thinking this whole time, like, I just want coke. Give me coke. But the bear is so confused, right? Like, in real life, this bear would be, like, so confused as to what's going on. And would be like freaking out and just be like, what's happening? Why do I feel like this? Which is like people, like people do. Any animal will react that way. Unless you meet the famous bear that is high on cocaine all the time. Yogi, how you doing? And that was my one Yogi the Bear joke. He probably smokes weed. Does Yogi Bear smoke weed? I know that Smokey doesn't smoke because he's, the fire safety bear, but only you can prevent forest fires. Anyway. Bear, the ambulance shows up. They get the ranger into the ambulance. They're driving away. The bear is chasing the ambulance, jumps into the back of the ambulance, tosses the woman, the park ranger, onto the road. Her entire face and body is skidded off. She's dead on the gurney. This other guy, his hand is basically ripped off. And the girl that's driving the ambulance crashes into a tree, is thrown out of the ambulance. And we don't see, like, the bear eating the guy. We just see the girl. She basically dies on impact as soon as the ambulance crashes. She's thrown out. She's dead. So that's probably, like, a really gruesome one. The next death actually isn't by the bear. It's by a human. The drug dealer, he snipers and kills the detective. Let's look for the cocaine. So that's the next kill. And then someone gets his fingers shut off. And then the kids, they find the little girl. She's been put in the bear's cage. Then we find out the bear has cubs. We find out the bear is a girl. She's got babies. No one dies. Whatever. So then they end up at the waterfall because that's where the cave is. The next death is off screen. We don't see it. The other guy of the engaged couple. Oh man, my ring light shut off. Sorry, you guys. I didn't mean for that to happen. Okay. Where? Sorry, I am very sleep deprived right now. My eyes hurt really bad. I mean, I'm not sleep deprived. My eyes hurt really bad. Oh, it's like, oh, it hurts to open them. My eyes are just really heavy. Ooh, Clockwork Orange, how you doing? Yeah. This is my natural eye shape. This is my eyes relaxed. It's my eyes like not relaxed. Wait, just do that. My eyes I have hooded eyelids, so I have very small eyes. This is not relevant to the video. Cocaine Bear, the next death is the drug dealer has his intestines ripped out, and I think he's the last guy that dies. No. The death happens on screen. The man who was in the engaged couple at the beginning, he's been living in the forest, and because he doesn't have any way to get home, and he gets killed, but it's off screen. But you see like his like ripped up body, and it's super gross. Like his face is all ripped off. And last death is the drug dealer guy, the one that's searching for the cocaine, the one that wants the cocaine, even though everyone else wants to leave. The Ray Liotta character, the character played by Ray Liotta, he gets his intestines ripped out by the baby bears, and they're basically chowing down, having lunch, but Dave falls into the river, but they eat his intestines. What else? That's all the kills. That is all the kills in the movie. So 2 of them are done by people, the rest of them are done by the bear. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because that's 3 people get killed in one scene. 8, 9. I believe there's 9 kills in the whole movie. There's 9. There might be 10. I don't remember, but I believe there's 9. The bear almost dies, but she survives. Most of the characters do survive the movie, because the bear didn't attack those people. So the kids live. The mom is fine because she goes out searching for the kids. The drug dealer's son survives and his best friend. And that's all who survives, really. Oh, and the kid that was helping them find the cocaine, he survives. And then there's this cop that's a corrupt cop. She's working for a drug dealer. She survived. So that's all the people that survive. And a dog lives. I don't think any dogs die in this movie. I don't believe so. I don't think any dogs die in this movie. There's a mention of a dog dying, but no dogs die in the movie. I think, from what I believe. Anyway, I'm trying to think. I think that's all the kills. The plot, I would say the plot overall is easy to follow. It's just remembering all the characters, because there's a lot of characters, or remembering why they're relevant or why they're even there. So that's something that's like struggled with. I'd say the acting is pretty okay. The acting's fine. It's not the worst acting I've seen. Is it the best? No. Is it the worst? No. I've seen worse acting in movies. Ray Liotta, rest in peace. I love that this was your last movie out of all of them. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Ice Cube's son, forgot his name, Ozea. He's one of the main guys. He's the best friend of the drug dealer's son. He does a pretty good job. He gets his finger shot off in the movie. But what I love about the movie is they acknowledge how absurd it is multiple times. Like when he gets fingers shot off, he gets this finger and this finger shot off. Or maybe it's this finger and this finger. I think it's this finger and this finger. And one of the guys is like, how did he shoot those fingers? They're not even next to each other. I think they're acknowledging this movie is kind of absurd and stupid, which I prefer with movies. I like when they, point out the obvious absurdity of it all. But anyways, that was my review. Is basically like it was a good movie. I give it like a solid 7 out of 10. The other things I would say is there's a big reliance on CGI for the kills. I would prefer if they use more practical effects here and there, because that would be more cool. I would say the acting is, sometimes it's pretty meh, but it's not the worst acting I've ever seen. I've definitely seen worse acting. It's not terrible. I'd say it's good. I'd say definitely watch it. I think it has a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Maybe it's gotten up to 90 something. I don't know. But it's been out for like a couple weeks now, so I would definitely recommend it if you want to go see it. I think it's still playing in theaters. It will probably be on HBO Max, or maybe Peacock. I don't know. So yeah. Oh, I watched the extended version of Megan, which is on Peacock. The really only difference is there's more cussing, and some of the kills have like more blood. Like it's more gruesome. Some of the kills are more gruesome and there's more cussing. So I would say that's the unrated version. It's not that much different. There's just more cussing and the deaths are a little bit more gruesome. And that's really it. But anyways, this was my review of Cocaine Bear. Let me know if you want to see any more reviews. Did you think the movie was interesting? Did you go see it? Did you think it was stupid? I thought it was hilariously dumb. I thought it was a dumb movie, but hilarious. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, it was a solid movie. It was a solid plot, solid characters, solid cast. And, it's very sad that bear is dead. But I like what I'm seeing with, you know, movies nowadays is they're not afraid to get campy and stupid. You know, that's what you want a movie to be. You don't want a straightforward, you know, meh movie. You want a movie that people are gonna watch and they're gonna be like, this is it. You know, this is the reason cinema is alive. I feel like a lot of movies aren't doing that, like especially horror movies. Horror movies you are meant to see in a movie theater. They're not meant to be seen on a streaming service. But yeah, I recommend Cocaine Bear. Go watch it. It's very fun. I am not being sponsored or endorsed by Cocaine Bear or any money or any movie company. I'm not being endorsed for this. But thank you so much for watching my review. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more movie reviews in the future. Comment what movies I should review next. Should I do a review of Scream 6? Hit the notification bell for a new video as soon as this one reaches double-digit views, and follow the social media links in the description below, including Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, my fandom Tumblr, my other Tumblr, and Twitter. You can also check out my last movie review, which was Megan, and you can check out my movie reviews playlist right here, and you can hit subscribe right here, and that is it. That is my whole review of Cocaine Bear. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.